everybody is born with these incredible abilities, and some are born with more than others, but you can learn to control or develop all of them. Hey guys, I hope you're doing well. If you don't know, my name is Brittany and I film videos based around the paranormal and mythological beings. So if that's something that you think might interest you, quickly go ahead and click that subscribe button. Now, I'm actually going to begin a new series on my channel, and it is all about witches, basically. So anything to do with psychics and the different ways you can communicate with the other worlds and things like that. This was something that I have wanted to do on my channel. I know that I haven't had a channel for very long, but someone did reach out to me and she has been having these crazy experiences, but I'm not really going to dive into her experiences because, you know, they are her experiences. So she had asked me to actually dive into how to tell if you're a psychic and what being a psychic is and so on and so forth. So, being a psychic it's not as cut and dry as it sounds. You're not just a psychic or you're not. Everybody is born with these incredible abilities, and some are born with more than others, but you can learn to control or develop all of them. There are different things, and they're called the clairs, and that's kind of what you think of when you think of psychics. And there's clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, clairescent, clairtangency, and clairgustance. Now, I'm going to do a video about each of these topics. Today, we are actually going to do clairvoyance, which is one of the things that people typically think of when they think of psychics. Now, clairvoyance means clear seeing. Now, this psychic ability actually allows you to tap into the knowledge of your soul and the collective knowledge of all souls of the universe, including those of the past, the present, and things that, they haven't even happened yet. Being clairvoyant means that you receive psychic impressions visually through images, colors, and visions. Now, usually these are very subtle and will typically happen in your mind's eye. So if you guys don't know what your mind's eye is, which is also referred to as your third eye, it is right here. Right in between your eyebrows. It's basically you are seeing things in your head. Now, I'm going to tell you a few different signs that you might actually be clairvoyant. One is you see flashes of light and color. Now, flashes of light and color often serve as a sign that higher spirits, so those in heaven or other members of your spiritual team, are around you. Now, a spirit can be looking for your attention to relay information. And you might see floating orbs or colored dots in the spaces around you. You might also see shadows that are floating in the air or glittering or flashing lights in the space around you. And movement and twinkling lights out of the corner of your eyes. So that's something that I see a lot, you guys. I see orbs, I see shadows. Every time I see it, Jeff doesn't. This is one of the signs that you are clairvoyant. Now, another one is that clairvoyants tend to daydream a lot. Now, myself, for example, if I am by myself, and I guess sometimes even around people, but usually not when I'm spoken to, but I can play an image, like a movie in my head, while actually still living and functioning in this world. Sometimes my story kind of gets away from me, but usually I can control it, and clairvoyants tend to daydream a lot. Now, another thing is clairvoyants often have frequent and vivid dreams. Now, vivid dreams, they seem so realistic, and you actually have to question whether or not they happened. Or, in my case, they are so vivid that they seem real, but they're extremely far-fetched. Clairvoyants often have a deep connection with beautiful things. They are very creative, they love art, they love paintings, and just the beauty of things. Another thing is you see things moving out of the corners of your eyes. Now, if you see this, it might actually be an earthbound spirit, and they could be floating around in the same space that you are. This goes along with the fact that, there are parallel universes, they're on a different plane than us, but you're actually tapping into that plane as you see them. Clairvoyants can also see in their mind how something should work. So they can actually put pieces together in their mind and then actually put it together that same way afterwards. Clairvoyants also typically have a great sense of direction. Now keep in mind, you guys, you don't have to have all of these to be clairvoyant. And this is one that I absolutely do not have. I am oddly good when it comes to finding, like, my way back, when it comes to, like, the woods and in nature. But when it comes to driving a car, no. Like, I am insanely bad at directions. For example, my school had three and a half hallways, I guess, that were considered the high school, and it took me a good week to remember where the rooms were, which is pretty terrible. Now, another thing that clairvoyants can do is that it's really easy for them to complete visually spatial tasks. And another one is that they can envision and plan things in their head. Clairvoyants have often been told that they have a vivid imagination. Now, I wasn't really told that I had a vivid imagination. I was told that I had an overactive imagination, but still along those same lines. Another one is that clairvoyants often had imaginary friends as a child. Now, I know that I've said this before, you guys, but imaginary friends typically are spirits. They, that's why children see them, because children are, they're born with this ability and it's so strong, and they don't have that doubt that's casted on them by society. So typically children see these spirits and they're their imaginary friends because adults don't see them. Now again, you guys, you do not have to have all of these to be clairvoyant. I think I have most of them. I definitely don't have the directions one, but you can also increase your clairvoyant gifts, which is amazing. It's like anything. It's like if you're trying harder at anything, like everything, if you are learning a new task, it takes practice, it takes work, and then you're amazing at it. In order to increase your clairvoyant gifts, you should spend time meditating and visualizing and opening that third eye chakra. There are different ways that you can receive messages as a clairvoyant. The first one is through your third eye. So that spot right between your eyebrows, you guys. Now, clairvoyant messages typically are not visible in the real world. You see them basically in your head, but you guys, that doesn't mean that they're not real. And if you disagree with me, that is perfectly okay. We're all entitled to our own opinion. Now, which is something else that I kind of want to bring up. A lot of people are not very accepting. Like, it took me, so these are things that I believed in all of my life, and it took me a very long time to finally be like, you know what, like this is my beliefs, this is how I truly feel. I know that these are the things that I'm seeing, these are the things that I'm hearing, and this is just simply what I believe in. And I used to be so scared of that, you guys, about just, telling people my opinions on things. And, if you have different opinions, I would love to listen to them. But as long as you respect mine, because I'm going to respect yours. And that's all it kind of boils down to. We don't have to think the same. We don't have to feel the same. But as long as we respect each other's opinions, that's all that really counts. All are on a different path. And we all have a different spiritual path, and we all have a different purpose in the world. And, you know, it doesn't really give us a right to look down on other people because of their beliefs and what they feel is true. And, you know, we all have different reasons of why we believe the things that we do. So that's something else to take into consideration before you tell somebody that something doesn't exist. Another form of messages are images and movies in your head. Now, no two clairvoyants see things the same, you guys. And psychic sight can come as a snapshot, a vision, a symbol, or moving pictures like watching a movie in your head. Now, the last one is symbols. You know, a lot of times this is the type of messages that clairvoyants receive. Sometimes, you know, they're not the easiest to decode, but that doesn't mean that they're not real. It doesn't mean that you're not getting these messages. There's absolutely no reason to think that you are losing your mind, you guys. Have a little faith in yourself. I'm going to tell you different methods on how you can actually increase your clairvoyance. Okay, so the first one, you guys, is practicing visualization. Now, clairvoyants have strong visualization abilities. And the more you practice the skill, the easier it will become to you. It's easier for clairvoyants to receive these messages when their third eye chakra is open. So you want to make sure that's open and practice opening it. You can spend just a few minutes each day just visualizing different images, pictures, and scenes in your mind's eye. One thing you can do to practice this is you can visualize with numbers and flowers. So you close your eyes and you imagine the number 1 in your mind. When you can hold this image for 10 seconds, move on to the number 2, then 3, all the way until you get to 10. So if you're having trouble with this, draw the number on a piece of paper. Go all out, make it as creative as you want, add glitter, colors, whatever. And stare at the image for 30 seconds and try this exercise again. That way, you already have that image in your mind, and it will be easier for you to keep that image in your mind. Now, you can also use crystals to open up the third eye. You can place them near you when you meditate, and you can also lay them near your forehead when you go to sleep. You can also carry them in your pocket, and this will actually help you kind of keep a reminder of your intention to develop and strengthen your clairvoyance. Now, both amethyst and fluorite are known for their abilities to open up the third eye. Now, another thing is to keep a dream journal. So this is one I'm not good at. I will start journals, and I love journals. I love notebooks. I love writing. But I'll end up missing a day, and then I'll miss another day and a week, and then I'll get a new journal, and just because I like the cover of it. So definitely not my strong suit. However, it is a great exercise to strengthen your clairvoyance. Now, our spirit guides, angels, and loved ones all communicate with us through dreams. Because when we sleep, we let our logical mind rest, and our subconscious takes over. We can accept our guidance from our spirit guides, and a lot easier just because we're not overlooking it, we're not ignoring it. Real life isn't, taking a front seat. If you keep your journal next to your bed, and whenever you wake up, you simply just write down what your dreams were, you, after a while, might actually notice different patterns and symbols that are meaningful to you. And you might even remember a past life. Keeping a dream journal can also let you know how your clairvoyance is evolving, which we all like to see our own progress. Now, another reason why I struggle with this is I wake up a ton during the night. I never really get more than 2 to 3 hour increments of sleep. So I wake up and I'm exhausted because, you know, I didn't get a full sleep. So I will just go back to sleep. And it goes in cycles like that throughout the night. So that's why I have such a hard time with dream journals, just because I'm exhausted. I just want to go to sleep. I don't want to write down my dreams. I just want to sleep. But then when I wake up in the morning, I'm like, oh, I should have wrote that down. So hopefully that's not the case with you guys, because it is a great tool. Now another one, you guys, is actually setting the intention to receive guidance through your dreams. Now, if you simply set your intention, because intentions are a very powerful thing. The world is made up of energy, and what you send out, you attract. If you set your intention to that you're open to receiving intuitive guidance, you can ask that they give you messages via clairvoyance while you sleep, but just make sure that you don't forget to write that down. Now, another one is meditation. Now, meditation is so important. It's when you're developing any of these skills, because it heightens your vibration. All meditation improves your mind's eye to see, but you can also meditate specifically with the intention to become clairvoyant. Now, one meditation you can use is you get into a comfortable position, you close your eyes and take a deep breath. Now, you start getting settled in your body. You start to slowly relax. And once you feel stable, you practice seeing the face of a loved one, but you see it in your mind's eye. So your eyes are closed and you're seeing this in your mind's eye, and you look closely. Now you're going to imagine their laugh lines, their dimples, absolutely everything. Make sure you're paying close attention to that detail. Now, another meditation that you can use, you get comfortable, you close your eyes, you take a few deep breaths, and you set the intention to expand your clairvoyant abilities. Now, you focus your attention on your third eye chakra, and imagine the chakra in a majestic purple color. Now, imagine it spinning beautifully, and this is signifying that it's wide open. Now, you will probably experience a tingling sensation in between your eyebrows, and this is normal and perfectly fine, and this means that your third eye chakra is opening. Now, again, you guys, you don't have to spend hours doing these meditations. A few minutes a day will help strengthen your clairvoyance. Now, make sure to trust your psychic experiences. Ask your spirit guides for clear images that you can easily interpret. And make sure to trust your guides. So you guys, I don't know if I'm coming down with a cold or if it's just allergies. Probably allergies. I have really bad allergies, and they're very bad this year. But, so it does take practice to learn how to interpret their messages. So don't get discouraged, because you will get it. And if you can't figure out their message, then simply ask them. Ask your spirit guides for clarification. How to trust your psychic clairvoyant gifts is actually keeping a journal of your experiences. Now, write down all of the messages and answers you get. Write down your dreams, your visions, and any other communications too. So literally write down like everything. To get messages, it's helpful to have a high vibration, which is why meditation is so important. Remember, all energy vibrates at a certain frequency, and spirit energy vibrates really, really fast. So that's why it's important for us to have a high vibration when communicating with spirits, because it makes it easier to communicate with them. Now, again, practice makes perfect. So it's also believed that all babies are born with tremendous clairsensitivity, but they actually lose touch with it due to upbringing, education, and skepticism from parents and society. As you grow up, you hear things like spirits don't exist, ghosts aren't real, that's all in your head. Which, I mean, it kind of is, but not in the way that people are saying. But you hear these things and they're so negative and they're so discouraging that you actually start questioning things. And you get down on yourself about it. You're like, nope, that can't exist. And you begin blocking things out. Now, that is why many adults can't communicate with the spirit realm. And they don't see things. And they don't hear things. And they don't have these incredible abilities anymore that we were born with. Just because you don't have them anymore doesn't mean you can't gain them back. And if you have them, it is an incredible gift, you guys, just to be able to see and communicate with them. And that's something that I definitely have to strengthen myself. I don't want to mislead you guys at all. I am not a pro at this. I am, I have a lot of learning to do when it comes to communicating with spirits and strengthening my clairsensitivity. But I've heard things and I've seen things and I've had these experiences that let me know that these things exist. But not everybody has. And I know that that is very discouraging if that's especially what you want. And I know that when you're having these experiences and, they're happening all the time. And it can get overwhelming because you don't know how to control them. But another thing is, so I went to a psychic. This was a while ago, you guys. It was the first psychic I'd ever been to. And she was doing a reading for me. I was there for, I think, 2 hours. And she was basically, in the end, she basically told me that I was a beacon for paranormal activity. And because of my energy, because of my acceptance, they were very attracted to me. And they felt like they could come to me and talk to me. And they were very attracted to my energy. Now, that is actually a very common thing that happens with people that are clairsensitive, and they might not even know it. They just have these experiences, and, it is very easy to overlook a lot of experiences or kind of talk yourself out of them. Like, no, that was a trick of the light, or no, I'm just, I didn't actually see anything. Or when you hear your name. Jeff was at his garage the other day, and Sebastian was sleeping, and I was on the computer because I do the research, and I type up the article, and, I have this whole process. But I was sitting there, and clear as day, I heard my name behind me, and Jeff was at home. It was a female voice, and usually, most commonly, whenever I hear my name, it's a male voice. So it kind of took me a second. I was like, but I didn't feel a negative energy. Then that's very important, is to kind of feel that energy around you to make sure that it is a positive or negative entity. And because, the positive ones, they don't want to scare you. They just want to talk. So, and sometimes they might need help. And because not everybody is open to receiving those messages, and they might need help getting a message to their loved one. Now, again, you guys, I know that I have the tendency to ramble, but I hope that you guys did enjoy this. I'm going to be doing a whole series on this, and I want to know if you guys think that you are clairvoyant. If you have not subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button. It would mean so much to me, you guys. And I hope that you have an amazing rest of your day, and I will see you next time.